for the first one, does it say adding or does it say subtracting? Adding. Do you see that plus right there? Let's use brain, then speak. All right. That means you're just going to put the like terms together. So you have 4h squared plus 1h squared. So together, 5h squared. Good. You're just adding things together. All right. Then you have negative 5h and negative 3h. Very good. And then you have 2 minus 1, which is 1. Cool? Yeah. This one, is it adding or subtracting? Good. So that has an extra step. You're going to recopy the first stuff. You don't need the parentheses anymore. Just recopy it. And you're going to distribute the negative sign. So everything is just going to flip-flop its signs so that you're subtracting all of it. So it's going to be minus 2h squared. Good. And then plus 3h minus 9. Perfect. You're so smart. And then you're going to just put the like things together like we did on the first one. So 8h squared minus 2h squared is 6h squared. 8 minus 2 is 6 is all we did there. All right, and you've got 6h plus 3h is 9h. And then negative 3 and negative 9, negative 12. You're close. Yeah. No, you keep them the same. It's kind of like apples plus apples are still apples. They didn't change to anything else. It's when you multiply that the exponents are going to start changing, which actually brings us to the next problem, multiplying. Now here your exponents are going to change. When you multiply, you add your exponents. We're going to distribute this 5c through the parentheses. So when you do the first one, 5c times c squared is going to be 5c cubed. 1 plus 2 equals 3 is what we did there. You have a c and then you have 2 more. You add your exponents. Minus, now do the middle one. 20c squared, good job. Plus, and then do the last one, 5c times 2, 10c, good job. Hey. All right, this one has fractions. I'm going to try and talk you through this, but if you get confused in the test, you can always do what? Calculator. We're going to hold it together. Okay, so we're going to distribute a 1/3. Basically, that means you're dividing by 3. So what is a third of 15 or 15 divided? Good, perfect. Okay, 5x, nice. Minus, good. How'd you get 8? It is 8y. How'd we get 8? Yep, 24 divided by 3. Now this one, you're distributing not a 1/7, but a negative 1/7. So just be careful with the negatives. So yes, you're dividing by 7, but it's negative. Negative 7. So 56 divided by 7 is 8, but it's going to be negative. So negative 8x. Good job, guys. And now a negative times a negative is positive. And good, 14 divided by 7 is 2. Nice job. You didn't let the fractions scare you. Yeah. This is going well. You guys just need to focus a little bit. All right, and then we're going to put the like terms together. So 5x minus 8x, negative 3x, and then negative 8y plus 2y is negative 6y. Sweet. Nice. Now this one, you're going to do your 2 by 2 square. And along the top, you put 3y minus 8. And along the side, you put 3y minus 8. Why is it the exact same? Because it has the square. Good. It's a twin is what I call it when it comes out the same. The box is just to keep you organized. It really is just an organizational tool. All right, so in the first one, 3 times 3. No. 9. And then y times y is y squared. 1 plus 1 equals 2 is what we did there. But it is confusing for people because the ones aren't written. All right, in this one, negative 8 times 3y, that's going to be negative 24y. And the exact same thing is going to go in this one because it's the same. And then the last box is -8 times -8, which is good, positive 64. You've done everything correctly. You are. Your diagonals should go together. And so your final answer is 9y squared. Now you have -24 and -24. -48. Good job. Y. And then plus 64. So that's your final answer. Good job. You guys did it. This is a long unit. Pay attention to your directions. They're going to say add or subtract or multiply. So follow your directions, okay? Dimensions of a rectangular playground are represented by these expressions. What is the area of the playground? Well, to get the area of a rectangle, you do length times width. So good, you're just going to do the exact same thing that we did with the different numbers. So we're basically just going to try it again. Yeah. It does not. If you put the 3x plus 12 along this side and the 2x plus 7 along that side, it's going to come out the same. So what goes in the first little square? Good. 6x squared. In this one, 2x times 12, 24x. Nice job. I haven't had to reach for a calculator for you guys yet. That's good. 21x. You guys are building your number sense. Very good. Does anyone know 12 times 7? If not, I'll tell you. 48. With way more than that. 84. Good job. Oh, that was just like a little dyslexic moment. That's all that was. All right. If you've done everything correctly, your diagonals will go together. So your final answer is 6x squared plus, now if you add that, what is that, 45x plus 84. Yep, you got it. All right, we'll do a couple more and I'll give you a break. We might not finish all of the second page. Maybe we'll go through, we'll do like 3 or 4 more. All right. Hey guys, I need for you to focus for me. Now, if you can divide each of these by 3x in your mind, I'm fine with you not writing out this step. But if you're like, hey, I need to see it, just write them all out separately. You're going to divide everything by the 3x. It doesn't take that long to write out. But if you can do it in your head, that's fine, right? You are kind of like distributing the 3x, but instead of multiplying, you're dividing it to each term. So for the first one, 24 divided by 3, close, 8. Good, why is it x to the 4th? Because that's correct. It's 5 minus 1, perfect. Minus, you're doing this like 3 separate problems. 5x squared, good job. Now this one's tricky. There is a number that's gonna go there, close. A number, so 1. Anything divided by itself is 1. I said there's going to be a number and y'all said x. Close. X is a letter, not a number. That would be if the directions said to factor, you would keep the 3x and just sit it out front like a greatest common factor, but this just says divide, so you're just dividing it out and seeing what's left, right? Now this one's really similar. You have a rectangle, but you're given the area, and then this is the width. What would be the length? Well, you're going to do the same thing that we just did. You're going to take each term and divide it by the 6n squared. So it's like the one right above it, except instead of being given the length and the width, you multiply to get the area. You have the area, you're going backwards. You're dividing to get the length. All right, so the first one, 54 divided by 6, 9, n squared. 4 minus 2 is what we did there. Minus 4n, good job, plus, oh, I did a copy error. Yeah, it should be 30. I am so sorry. Copy errors happen to everyone. It's called being human. There we go. So 5. Just 5. What happened to the n squared? Yeah, they cancel. All right, so let's get through these next 2. This one, when you divide, what do you notice about this first? You have to be a good noticer. What pattern is this?
Trinomial.
Good. Trinomials. This is your X box. On the top is 24. On the bottom is -11. Don't worry about the negatives. We'll figure that out. Just come up with some numbers that multiply to be 24. So I'm hearing 8 and 3 and 12 and 2. Those are all good. Which is the one that's going to work for 11? Okay, good. I like when you guys give me all the options, though. That makes me happy because that builds your number sense. And then decide the negative. Good. You guys rock. All right. Is there a number in front of the x squared? No. So you're just going to use those numbers, x minus 8 and x minus 3. And we are dividing by x minus 3. That was just given in the problem. It's kind of just there. But what happens? These cancel, and just what's left is your answer. So we're going to try one more like that. Draw your X box. What's going to go on the top? Yep, -18. Very good.
And then 7.
And 7. Just come up with some numbers that multiply to be 18. We'll figure it out. I like getting all the choice. 9 and 2. What else? 6 and 3. Okay. Which one's going to work to get you 7? 9 and 2. Good. Then decide the negative. Just wait till the end. Good. 9 minus 2 is 7. And so you're going to have x plus 9x minus 2 divided by x minus 2. One of them is going to have to match. So that one canceled, and your answer is just the stuff that's left. All right, so these next ones are your tiles. So we're going to model this expression with algebra tiles. The big square is the x squared, and we need 2 of them. So that will look like this. Good. And then how do you do an x? What shape? It's a rectangle. Now I want 4 of them, and I want them to be negative, so that means they need to be shaded in. And then plus will be little squares. And you want 3 of them. Good job. All right, now these ones we're going to add together. Oh, can you close that for me, please? And then write out what the sum is. So this one is represented by 3x minus 2, good job, plus, or no, actually, it says plus, but it's going to start out minus because these are shaded in. So it's going to be minus 2x squared minus 1x. I'll put the 1 with it. And then plus 4. Okay, hold on. I'm going to say it. You just check if yours is correct. Does anything go with the minus 2x squared? No, that just stays. You're going to put the x's together. So 3 minus 1 is 2. Good job. Plus 2x. And then -2 plus 4 is plus 2. Oh, they all came out to 2. That's kind of weird. Yeah. Yep. So model the product. Product means what? Multiplication. So draw a big grid. I'm going to put x plus 2 along this side. And then x plus 5 along this side. It technically doesn't matter which one goes where. However, the 5 was going to take up more space. So that's why I put that along the top, because that's where I had more room. But it doesn't technically matter. And then your answer is what you get when you fill this in. So in the first space, x times x is x squared. So that's the big square. And then here, when you look at all of these ones, you're doing x times 1 for each of these. So they're all just going to be x. So you get 5 of the rectangles here. And then the same thing is going to happen along this side. And then the rest of this is just 1 times 1. When you line them up, they're all just 1 times 1 is 1. So you're filling in the rest of the space with your little squares. It'll be multiple choice, so I don't care. You can put a little circle. I'll be able to tell what it means. It's technically a square, though. In 14, you are doing that, but backwards. You're figuring out what goes along the top and what goes along the side that will give you this part in the middle. So looking along the top, it's going to be x plus what? 3. Do you see how x plus 3 there? We're doing what we just did, but backwards. All right, so that one's x plus 3. Along the side, 2x, good job, plus 1. It's just shapes and stuff. Those two problems were just the reverse of each other. Okay, can I flip? Are we all okay? Some people draw the shapes a little slower, so I was just pausing for a second. All right, now we're getting into our factoring. Greatest common factor. What can you divide out of both 8 and 40? And it's the biggest, bigger than that, 8. Good. So you can take 8. Can you take anything else? X. They share x in common. We're going to undistribute an 8x and see what's left. So the reason you can't take x squared is because this one doesn't have a squared. Let me finish this problem and I'll get you your paper, okay? Oh, thank you. So from the first one, the people came in the room, but let's not get super distracted. There is an 8x and you divided an 8x, but you still have to put something there. What number goes there? 1, good job. Plus, anything divided by itself is 1, is what we did there. 40 divided by 8. 5. And then an x, good job. Yes, I did not realize this, and it's multiple choice, so you'll be able to figure it out. It actually didn't say to work out the whole problem. I apologize. I just got excited to do the whole question. It just says what is the greatest common factor? So it would actually just be this part. Do you get what I'm saying? I just went ahead and did the whole problem. What is the GCF? It would just be the 8x. So looking at this one, what can you divide out of both of them? 2v. Good job. So you're going to undistribute a 2v. You're going to divide that out. So from the first one, there's 2, you took it out.
V2, V.
Correct. You can only take 1 v. You can't take 3. Kind of think of money. If this person only has $1, you can't take 3 from them. Okay. So you guys were correct. V squared. Why is it a 2? Yeah, 3 minus 1 is 2 is what happened there. All right, plus 6. Good job. All right, do you see how these both have an x?
Yeah.
Okay, you have to be a good noticer. You're gonna put x and start your parentheses and factor out the x. So, hey guys, what is left? Good, a minus b. Sorry, in the end of the pass, back to the screen. All right, so a minus b equals 7. Good job. And then what would you do to get the x by itself? Yeah, divide by a minus b. And so your answer is 7 over a minus b. It's fun when you understand it. You just got to listen to me. You just got to listen. That's all it is. Learning is really just listening. You can't listen if you are also talking. All right, grouping. How would you know this was grouping even if it didn't say it though? Because it's not going to say. There's 4. Good. All right, give the first two a hug, give the second two a hug. This is going well. Really hope you guys, we need to end strong on this third quarter. All right, what can you divide out of 8 and 12? We will take an x. Bigger than 2 though. 4. Okay, so good. 4x. So if you divide out 4x, that will leave you with 2x. Close. 3. Good job. Spoiler alert, there's going to be a 2x minus 3 in the next one. All right. What can you divide out of both? 3, specifically a positive 3. And you,
2x minus
yeah, and you can work it out if you want, but it will be 2x minus 3. So your final answer, if you want to draw your 2 blank parentheses, one of them is going to be that 2x minus 3. And then the other one is the 4x plus 3, like the other stuff. Nope, doesn't matter. All right, here are your trinomials. Draw yourself an X box. I got you. Don't worry about the negative. You just want to come up with some numbers that multiply to be 63. So what have we got?
Wow, so
Do we need our calculator? I can pull up the calculator.
Yeah.
I was gonna say we haven't needed it yet, but I can pull up the calculator. Just what? You're right. Look at everybody else there. 63 divided by x, geared table, looking for a pair that adds or subtracts to be 2. Good, it is 9 and 7. Okay. 9 minus 7 is 2. X plus 9, x minus 7. Easy peasy. Lemon squeezy. All right, next one. 18 goes on the top, negative 9 goes on the bottom. You're just looking for some numbers that multiply to be 18. So 9 times 9 is 81. What was that? Good. 6 and 3. Then decide your negatives. They're both negative. Good. So x minus 6, x minus 3. Now these next ones, do you see how they all have a coefficient in front of okay, so the first thing you want to ask though is, can you take 3 out of everything? No. Okay, so what we're going to do is multiply the first and last numbers. That's negative 30. Now this is a little tricky. What's the number in front of? Good, it's 1. And then you're trying to come up with some numbers that multiply to be 30.
30 and 1.
Okay, but that's not going to subtract to be 1. But I like that you're telling me that.
29 and 1. No, that was 29.
Oh. 6 and 5 is good. Which one gets the negative?
5.
Hey, convergently. 6 minus 5 is 1. Now you're going to take both of those and put them over 3. We do that because we multiplied the 3 in the beginning and then you're just dividing it back out is what you're doing. So 6 over 3 will reduce to 2 over 1. Oh, it was a negative 5. I'm sorry. Copy error. Negative 5. I had it handled, but thank you. All right. This one does not reduce. Just make sure you start with the denominator. So it's going to be 1x plus 2. Good job. And then 3x minus 5. Beautiful. We don't have too many more. You guys have got this. So look at the next one. It's 8, 50, and 12. There is a number that will go into all of those. You have forgotten here. Look, I'll show you. Does anyone remember how to make this?
Yeah.
You see it. Perfect. Nice. Okay. So if the numbers seem really big, probably just type it in and see if you can divide something to make them all smaller. 2. We can divide 2 out of everything. We're still going to have to do the rest of the problem, but this will make the numbers a little bit smaller. All right. So what's left if you divide by 2? 4x squared. Good job. Good job. Perfect. I'm gonna stand up to say this. The 2 is
Just
just there. All right. So what I'm going to do is to set it up. Keep the 2, draw your 2 sets of parentheses, and we're going to do the exact same thing we just did right here. Look, it's not that much work. All right. I'm going to cover up the 2 so that, oh, and actually let's scribble this out. Do you remember me saying that? Like just get, okay, cool. We have good memories. Hey, what's up? 12 divided, 12 divided by 2 is not 3. It is 6. Thank you. Now, listen, I would have caught that because the next step would not have worked. And that happens a lot in math. If you make a mistake, usually the next thing you go to do won't work out. So you usually will catch stuff like that. All right, what's going to go on the top of the X box?
No, 4 times 6.
4 times 6,
24.
24. And then 25 goes on the bottom. See any numbers that multiply to be 24 and be 24 and 1. And it's nice that everything is positive. That's always nice when that happens. Now, do you guys see how I scribbled this out? And do you see how I'm covering this up with my hand? So you can focus on the right part. You're going to take both of these numbers and divide by 4. So that'll be 6 over 1. And then this one stays the same. So it'll be x plus 6. Good. Nice job, guys. That is about as complicated as I can make it. That's like arguably the hardest question on the entire thing. Yeah, go ahead. Can I do this next one? Okay. What do you notice? You have to be a good noticer. They'll all divide by 3. Good job. We're going to divide them all by 3. Undistribute a 3. That will leave you with x squared. And you know what's really nice about that? Do you see how there's not a number in front of the x squared? It's an easier problem now. All right, minus 2x. Oh, does anyone know 45 divided by 3? So good. You have like a calculator in your head back there. It's fantastic. The 3 is just there. So set it up blank. And again, the nice thing about this is there's not a number. I guess there is a number in front of the x squared. It's just what? 1. But you're not going to have to do all of this. It's an easier problem now. Negative 15 goes on the top. Negative 2 goes on the bottom. But don't worry about the negatives. All right? You just get the numbers first, then decide your negatives. Now, if they were both negative, this would make a -8. Good. So the negative goes there. And so it's x minus 5, x plus 3. So continuing to be good noticers, what do you notice about this one? Like what jumps out at you? They are perfect squares, and also the middle term is 0. You're missing it. It's a trinomial where the middle term is missing. So how would you split up the 25x squared? Well, good. 5x and 5x. One's going to be plus, one's going to be minus. That's how you cancel out the middle term. And then, good. Perfect. Should be the exact same thing, but opposite.
Oh, I get it.
What do you notice about this one? Because this one's going to have an extra step.
It's a great concept.
Good. Greatest common factor, you can divide by 2. We're going to undistribute a 2. You have to be a good noticer. For this test, the first thing you should do is read your directions. And the second thing should be, what do I notice? All right. That'll leave you with x squared minus 9. The 2 is,
Just there.
draw your 2 parentheses to split it. X squared is just going to be x times x. 1 plus 1 is 2. It's really all that is. Plus and minus, good. How would 9 split? 3. Good job. So this first one, what do you notice?
So many numbers.
There are so many numbers. That's actually really good, to be honest. There are a lot of numbers. There is something in front of the x squared. We're almost done, guys. How would you handle this one? It is a trinomial. So down here where you got some space, draw an x. What's going to go on the top? Good. How'd you get 30? Because there are so many numbers. All right, and then on the bottom, 11. So do you have some numbers that multiply to be 30? 5 and 6, good job.
6, 7, 8, 9.
Good job. I do that too. That's how, like a dice. Like I.
No.
All right. Forgot what I was doing. All right, you're gonna divide them all by 15. So we have 5 over 15 and 6 over 15. Now those are actually both gonna reduce. This will be 1/3. Do you remember how to type it in the calculator? Hit the little fraction button.
Yeah.
If you're not sure. This will be 2 over 5. Good job. So in your two parentheses, you're gonna have 3x plus 1. And which one is it? D. Okay, can I show you something? Now this is a way for you to check. Can you all just watch for a second? Let me make sure I have, okay, say of course and then look away though, okay? So I'm gonna type the problem. I also like doing this because this is kind of foreshadowing to what we're doing next. Do you see how it's not a line? What shape did we get? A U shape. Okay, it's called a quadratic, and that's actually the next unit we're going to get into. Now watch, because if you look away, you're going to miss this. 3x plus 1, and then I'm going to type 5x plus 2. See how they landed exactly on each other? All right. So what I'm going to do is, how do I bring that back? There we go. I'm going to type the next problem. What is it? 12x squared? It's 36x 27. See how there's that U shape there. Be a good noticer and, make an educated guess. Out of all the choices, it's not D, obviously. What one do you want to try? A. Okay, now look. I'm going to type A. Oh, it matched up. You see that? So that one's A. You see how we did that?
Yeah.
Yes. I don't mind you doing that for matching because you're gonna have to do that. Now, hold on a second. Can I show you what it looks like if it's wrong though? Because you guessed right on the first try. Say you thought it was C. Let me type C real quick just to show you. Do you see how they don't match up?
Oh,
Quiet. Right, now let me type the third one. It's gonna make me lose my voice. Can you please be quiet? All right, x squared and 3x minus 18. What one do you think it is? And this is a U shape. It's just kind of zoomed out. What one do you want to try? D. All right. 2x. Stop talking. Squared. Did that link up? Not G. What else do you want to? 8. All right. 3 parentheses. You don't think it's H?
Yes.
Yeah, it's not that one.
We did G. F.
F? Oh, I erased the whole thing. Whoopsie.
Backspace.
Yeah, well, I'm already halfway done. Doing it again. I heard somebody say G though. Hold on. Or no, we already did G. F would be x minus 6, x plus 3. Oh, look, see that?
That first try. Yeah.